Hello Canada, and welcome back to my home. I'm going to share with you today my version of an Alsatian inspired pizza. Anna, I hope you don't mind, but I've taken inspiration from your tart flambe, but I think I've kicked it up a notch with the addition of Philadelphia cream cheese. You can use an already pre-made pizza dough. It works great doing it that way. I really love You'll want to start with warm water and add your yeast. You'll just want to proof your yeast. I add a little bit of sugar as well, about a tablespoon. It's 1 1/4 cups of water with 1 tablespoon. I have 2 cups of flour that I'm going to put in my food processor. You can also mix this by hand, but it's so quick just to do it in the food processor. So it's 2 cups of white flour. I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of wheat germ. This just adds a little bit more nutrition. I do make this pizza crust with whole wheat as well. It tastes really good. Instead of the wheat germ though, I use 2 cups of whole wheat flour, but I add a 1/4 cup of wheat gluten to it. You need the wheat gluten to the whole wheat flour just to make it a little bit lighter. And you want to add a little pinch of salt as well. So I've proofed my yeast there. It's been waiting for about 5 minutes. The water was about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to add that to flour in my food processor. So it is well mixed there. I'm going to take it out of my food processor. Now you just have to knead it just a little bit because most of the kneading has already been done by the food processor. Alright, so my dough is really nice right like that. I just usually toss it a little bit here. I don't know why I do that. It really makes it taste better. Oiled bowl. I'm just going to put my dough in there. Turn it around a little bit just so it's nicely oiled. And we're going to cover it with a little bit of plastic wrap or a moist towel. And in order for this to rise, I'm going to cheat a little bit and have this in a little, place it in a little bit warmer area. Really, you should want it to rise in about an hour, but we're going to cheat and get it to rise in about half an hour just by placing it by the warm stove. The next thing to prepare is roasted garlic. We're going to add this to our pizza. If you've never tried roasted garlic, it is so good. I'm going to show you just quickly how to make it. First, you want to just peel off the extra layers. What you want to do is just chop off the tops, a little bit off the tops of the garlic. I just have a little bit of olive oil in here and just drizzle the olive oil over the top. Then I wrap them up in tin foil. These cloves have already been wrapped up, and I just stick them in an old cookie tin, and I cook them in the oven for about half an hour on 350 degrees. All right, so I have a lot going on here. I've just taken out my roasted garlic and I've checked it. The reason how you can tell if it's done, you just give it a little bit of a squeeze, and if it's nice and squishy, you can see it just coming out there. It's perfect. Next, what I'm going to do is cook up my onions. And I want to have caramelized. Make sure you're carefully watching your onions. You don't want them to get brown or crisp or anything to the onions. You want them to be nice and soft and just perfectly caramelized. Such wonderful flavor you get when you caramelize. So you can see the onions are nice and caramelized now, and you can just smell. It's just such a wonderful flavor. You know that they are ready. Also, our pizza dough has doubled in size and is ready as well. What you're going to want to do is have a little fun with this pizza dough and give it a little punch. So my dough is all done and ready. I waited for it to settle after I punched it down. I'm just going to divide the dough into 4 pieces. I roll out this dough. We want it to be nice and thin. There we go. All right. So now we are ready to get our toppings on our pizza. I have my Philadelphia cream cheese in here. And I've got it nice and soft already, but I'm going to add some sour cream to this as well, just so it spreads a little bit nicer onto the pizza. Just stir that around. This is going to be the pizza sauce. Very quick. And I have here my sour cream and Philadelphia cream cheese mixture. I'm just going to nicely get that even on all sides here. Perfect right there. And let's put our toppings on. So we have our roasted garlic. And if you've never tried roasted garlic, it is so different than regular garlic. Once you roast it, it gets a really sweet flavor to it, and you can actually eat the garlic cloves whole. Like, you can just pop them in your mouth and eat them. They're so flavorful and sweet. So different than regular garlic. It's hard to believe that it is garlic. Next up, let's put our onions. And when I was baking up the onions, I used 2 about medium-sized onions. So it's going to make 4 pizzas. And the neat thing about that, the size of the pizza, you can kind of vary it a little bit, what you're going to put on it. You don't have to make each pizza exactly the same. For one of the pizzas, what I was going to do is just leave it just like this, have the roasted garlic, the bacon, and the onions on it, the caramelized onions. For a second pizza, what I was going to add a little bit more to it, and I was going to put on some asparagus, like that, and it'll just be nicely roasted because it's not going to be in there for too long. I'm going to add some goat cheese on top. Just a little bit here. This is going to brown up really nicely. And just bubble a little bit. So I've already preheated my oven to 500 degrees. Okay, so it's ready to put in the oven now. No escapees there. All right, so there it is before we put it in the oven, and let's put it in. So 6 minutes I have it in for, and we'll check on it a little bit there because it's at 500, so you just want to make sure you're watching it so it doesn't burn on anything. So I'm waiting for my pizza to get ready. I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing right now. I could do some cleaning. I just invited all of Canada into my kitchen. I've been cleaning for the last 2 weeks. I guess that's not going to work. Maybe I can actually get in some reading time. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feelings or views of such an... I guess no reading time today. I guess maybe I need to just make some roasted garlic aioli to go with my pizza. All right, so my pizza has come out of the oven. It's just perfectly cooked. I'm going to slice it up. These are so yummy. Already half of the pizza is already gone. My kids know that pizza's done when the smoke alarm goes off. So they heard the smoke alarm and came trampling up, and half my pizza is already gone. But here you can see what's left and what's plated up nicely there for you.